My brother stole more than $1,000 from me in a single night. Not borrowed, not misplaced, stolen. And after taking every cent, he blocked me everywhere and disappeared like I'd never get it back. For months, I was furious. Then, finals week arrived. And suddenly, everything in his life started falling apart. While he was dealing with a disaster that left him in constant pain, and staring at a massive bill he couldn't afford, I was quietly making money, in a way he never saw coming. By the end of that week, I had earned back more than he'd stolen from me. And somehow, karma managed to charge him even more than he took. The best part: I didn't have to do a single thing. If you've ever had someone betray your trust, and somehow act like they were the victim, you're going to love today's story. Hit that like button, subscribe for more Reddit revenge stories, and let's jump into one of the most satisfying examples of karma doing all the work. My older brother and I have never been particularly close. We weren't enemies. We weren't best friends. We were just siblings. The kind who exchanged birthday texts and occasionally argued over dumb family stuff. The biggest difference between us was responsibility. I worked hard for my money. Every dollar in my account represented hours of work, sacrifices, and saying no to things I wanted. My brother, let's just say financial responsibility wasn't exactly his strongest trait at the time. He was attending college 2 states away, and living on campus, so when he came home during spring break, everyone was excited to see him. My parents were happy. My grandma was happy. Even I was happy, at least at first. The first few days were normal family dinners, movie nights, the usual stuff. Then one evening he went out with some friends, and apparently got unbelievably drunk. I didn't think much of it. I went to sleep. The next morning I woke up, grabbed my phone, and immediately felt my stomach drop. Notification after notification after notification. Purchase approved. Purchase approved. Purchase approved. Purchase approved. At first, I thought my card information had been stolen online. Then I looked closer. Every charge was local. Every charge came from stores at the mall, downtown, clothing stores, shoe stores, random specialty shops, even some overpriced accessory store. The total $1,094 in one night. I stared at my banking app, hoping I was somehow reading it wrong. Maybe there was a decimal missing. Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe then I saw my wallet. My card was gone, and suddenly, I knew exactly who had taken it. I found my brother lounging around the house, like nothing had happened, scrolling through his phone, completely relaxed. Meanwhile, my heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. "Where's my card?" He looked up, paused, then smirked. That smirk told me everything. I didn't even need an answer. "What are you talking about?" I showed him my phone. The charges. The stores. The amount. His expression immediately changed. To guilt, not to embarrassment, to annoyance, like I was inconveniencing him. "Oh yeah," he said, "I borrowed it. Borrowed it, borrowed. As if people normally borrow someone else's debit card and spend over $1,000 without asking. I could literally feel heat rushing into my face. "You stole my card." "No, I didn't." "Then why didn't you ask?" He rolled his eyes. Because apparently I was the unreasonable one. The argument exploded from there. Voices raised. Family members getting involved. Everyone trying to understand what happened. And the worst part, he wasn't sorry. Not even a little. He showed absolutely no remorse. Eventually, I demanded he return everything. Every shirt, every pair of shoes, every random thing he'd bought. If he couldn't pay me back immediately, he could at least return the stuff. Simple. Reasonable. Fair. His answer: no. Just no. He refused. Flat out. Apparently returning items would be too much work. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Someone steals over $1,000 from their own sibling, and then complains that fixing it would be inconvenient. That was the moment something changed inside me. The anger stopped feeling hot. It became cold, quiet, controlled. I realized arguing wasn't going to solve anything, so I looked him straight in the eye and said, "We'll talk later when we've both calmed down." But in my head, I was thinking something completely different. "You are not getting away with this." After he went back to college, I expected we'd eventually work something out. Maybe he'd cool off. Maybe he'd realize how insane his behavior was. Maybe he'd start making payments. Anything. Instead, silence. Weeks passed. Nothing. I texted him. No response. I called. Straight to voicemail. Then I discovered he'd blocked my number, every social media account, blocked, every messaging app, blocked, everything. The message couldn't have been clearer. He had decided the easiest way to avoid paying me back was to pretend I didn't exist. Honestly, that hurt more than the money. This wasn't some stranger, this was my brother, and apparently he valued a shopping spree more than our relationship. A couple months later, I was sitting in the living room with my mom, just a normal afternoon, then her phone rang. She answered, and almost immediately her face changed. Concern. Confusion, worry. The person calling was my brother, and he was crying. Not upset, not emotional. Actually crying, sobbing, apparently. He'd developed a severe tooth canal infection. The pain was so intense he could barely function. He said it felt like someone was driving a nail through his jaw every few seconds. He hadn't slept. He couldn't focus. He couldn't eat properly, and the timing couldn't have been worse. It happened right at the start of finals week. He told my mom he thought he'd already failed one of his biochemistry exams because the pain was so overwhelming. Imagine spending months preparing for finals only to have your brain completely hijacked by agony. My mom listened patiently. Then she told him exactly what he needed to hear. Go to the dentist immediately. He agreed. Then came the part that made me nearly choke, trying not to laugh. My mom added, "And don't ask me to pay for it. You're an adult." The silence on the other end was priceless. A day or two later, he finally went to the dentist. The diagnosis wasn't good, the treatment wasn't cheap, and the bill, let's just say it was significantly more than the $1,094 he'd stolen from me. I couldn't believe the symmetry. The exact amount he'd taken from me had come back around and hit him from another direction. Except this time, there was no avoiding it. No blocking a dentist. No ghosting an infection. No pretending it didn't exist. Life had sent him an invoice. And life wanted immediate payment. Meanwhile, he still had finals, still had stress, still had painkillers making him groggy. Every exam became a battle. Every day became miserable. For the first time since the theft, I felt something close to peace. Not because I wanted him to suffer, but because the universe had finally reminded him that actions have consequences. And then, as if karma hadn't already done enough, something amazing happened. My grandmother called. Now let me tell you something about my grandma. She is one of the coolest human beings on earth. The kind of person who says yes to adventures before hearing the details. The kind of person who makes every day more fun. For her birthday, she invited me to a bar bingo event at a fancy downtown gay bar. I had never been. I figured, why not? Worst case scenario, I'd spend time with my grandma. Best case, maybe I'd win something. There were 8 rounds. Each round had a $500 cash prize, $500 per round. The place was packed, music playing, people laughing. Everyone focused on their bingo cards. Round 1 started, nothing. Round 2, nothing. Nothing. Then suddenly, round 3, bingo. I won. $500. I was shocked. Everyone cheered. My grandma was losing her mind laughing. Then later, another round, bingo. 500 more. At that point people were looking at me like I was cheating. Then somehow, a third time, bingo. Another $500. I couldn't believe it. $1,500 in one night. Just like that, when the night ended, I handed a few $100s to my grandma. After all, it was her birthday, and honestly, she deserved it. Without her, I wouldn't have even been there. As we walked out, I finally did the math. After sharing with grandma, I still had more money than my brother had stolen from me. The same week he was drowning in dental bills. The same week he was struggling through finals. The same week he was learning painful lessons about responsibility. I had completely recovered my losses, not through revenge, not through lawsuits, not through fighting, just through pure, beautiful karma. And that's what made it so satisfying. Because I didn't have to do anything. Life handled it for me sometimes. The people who hurt us think they can simply walk away from the consequences. They think blocking a phone number erases a debt. They think avoiding accountability makes them safe. But life has a funny way of balancing the books. Maybe not immediately, maybe not the way we expect, but eventually. And when it happens, it can be incredibly satisfying to watch. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more Reddit revenge stories every week. And tell me in the comments, do you think my brother got what he deserved, or should I still be trying to get my money back? Thanks for watching, and remember, *karma doesn't always miss.